Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2006 Chrysler Town & Country. Up front is a 3.8 liter V6, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now I'm super excited to be driving this Chrysler Town & Country because it has 320,000 miles on it. And so it's rare to find Dodge products that made it this far. But also this van hasn't needed anything major. Original engine, original transmission. The power steering weeps a little. It's creaky here and there, but it's still operating. And so we're gonna be taking a look at a pretty high mileage Chrysler Town & Country. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 3.8 liter V6. Well, that was the bread and butter for Chrysler for a little while. The original JK Jeep Wrangler actually came with this engine, and it was used in a ton of applications that didn't need to make high horsepower, but needed a little bit of torque and just that little push around town. They obviously didn't put these in like the Dodge Neon or anything like that. And so now we know that this 3.8 liter is at least good for 320,000 miles. That is not a small feat for any engine, let alone an American engine. We're not known for building the longest lasting motors, at least in the last 2 decades, so it's really nice to see that, well, this one has stuck around. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic. Again, Chrysler in this era were notorious for having terrible transmissions. This, still doing its job 19 years later. Love to see that. Last but not least, the Town & Country is front-wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive the Chrysler Town & Country from '06? It's fine. I don't really have any major thoughts about it. It's doing its job. You do sit up high. That's kind of a signature of any minivan. A very prim and proper seating position. Visibility's good. Steering is really light. I would say almost overly light in like a 1970s Imperial LeBaron type way. But it's fine. Look, driving through central Indiana in my Chrysler Town & Country. Hoo-wee, hoo-wee, hoo. This boy needs a record deal. The ride is smooth, and it was definitely nicer of a ride than the Dodge Caravan of the time, but 320,000 miles, they're pretty negligible at this point. Basically the same ride. All right, I imagine there's gonna be some wheel spin. Yep, all wheel spin. Oh! That was 5,500 RPM, ladies and gentlemen. Not bad. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 gauges. Off to the left is my fuel and speedometer, and off to the right is the tachometer and coolant temperature. On the steering wheel, we do get cruise control, which is very nice, and of course the horn, which still works. Off to the left, we do have a climate vent, power mirror switch, headlight switch, and gauge dimmer switch. And moving out of the door, we have power windows for the front, but then power venting windows for the back. So we don't actually get full roll down windows for the back, but we do get little venting. I guess that helps-ish, but I would love to see full roll down. Then we have lock and unlock. Moving into the center, we get 3 climate vents. We get our rear wipers, heated seat, and hazard buttons. We have our standard Chrysler radio. This was also found in the Chrysler Pacifica, of which I have a lot of nostalgia with. And then we have our climate controls down below. So it does have a digital readout for the climate. We also have adjustments for the rear climate, and we have driver and passenger climate. So technically it's a tri-zone climate system, which is always nice to see. Then we do have a little cubby and a pull-out cup holder. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the '06 Chrysler Town & Country. And I am very happy to report that it does pass, and it's rare that pop-out cup holders pass, so double nice to see. Then we do have 2 12-volt outlets and some coin holders down below, and then up above us, we actually have some garage door openers, power sliding doors on and off, and a little readout giving us any information we might need to know about the vehicle. We do get a center console, nothing really too crazy there, and then the seats. Now the seats are covered, however they are leather underneath, and they've maintained their cushion and comfortability over the last 2 decades. Honestly, going off the feel of my butt, it actually feels just like it did back in 2006. They're really cushy, really comfortable, and well worn in, but in a very good way. However, speaking of seats, we do have 2 more rows of seating, so let's go do some back seat reviews. All right, coming around the back of the Town & Country. Now, it originally did have power doors. They have since stopped working, unfortunately, but a small price to pay to keep this vehicle running. Once we are back here, the seats are comfortable. They are leather, as you could see, and this is one of the first years for the Stow and Go system. So you could open up the floor and actually fold the seats down into it. However, after all of the years and all of the mileage of kids and crumbs and dirt and grime, it doesn't really work smoothly anymore, but this was an amazing, groundbreaking feature, and I'm truly shocked that more minivans didn't copy it as the 2000s and 2010s went on. You still don't really see this in many other vehicles. You do have storage up here, and you have your own climate controls, but that's basically it. Nothing really too crazy. We will hop into the 3rd row to check it out from back there. I've been worse places in my life. I've been better. It's fine. It does the job. It is what it is. I mean, I'm a big guy. Kids are gonna fit back here fine. That's not gonna be an issue. I'm just a little crybaby that wants his mommy, so that's okay. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. So interestingly enough, we actually do have a button here on the key fob for the power-operated tailgate that still works. Still got it, baby. Once we are around the back, we do have these seats that can fold down and into this area. But again, all the dirt and grime kind of prevents from doing that. But that is how you stow the 3rd row of seats. This was, again, a very revolutionary thing for minivans. There are other minivans that have incorporated this into the 3rd row, but not under the 2nd row. So very, very cool to see that. And when the 3rd row is up, you get tons and tons of space down here. So if you want to fit groceries, basketballs, baseballs, hockey equipment, whatever you need, you can pop it right down there into the back. Sir, in the F550, I am reviewing a car. Super loud. Anyway, hit it twice here, and it will close. Maybe not as graceful as it used to be, but at the other end, neither am I, so what can you do? Wow, it even has a shark bite out of it, and it still operates. That is a beautiful sight. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I don't overly love this generation of the Town & Country. There is a little bit of nostalgia with it. These cars used to be absolutely everywhere back in the day, and now they're dwindling, so it's nice to see for sure. However, I don't think it's an overly striking vehicle. Although it does look upscale. This did look nicer than like a Sienna from '06 or the Honda Odyssey. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the 2006 Chrysler Town & Country? And I apologize for the yelling. The AC is broken and it's very, very hot today. So I had to go with the windows down if I didn't want to die of heat stroke, which I don't. So that's why that's like that. But it's also raining. I've always liked the Town & Country. They'll always hold a special place in my heart. Like I said, I used to see them all over the place. And now that I see less and less of them, this was and is America's minivan. Yes, Ford had the Windstar and Freestar at the time, and Pontiac had the Montana SV6, and Chevy had the, what was it, Uplander, whatever they called it. Even Buick had a version of that, but this was always kind of the original minivan, not only because Chrysler pioneered it with Dodge back in 1984 with the Caravan, but I don't know, just something about these vans always felt like the home team. Yeah, they don't win all the time, but it's exciting when they do, and they're always kind of there. You can always catch a Cubs game, even when they were terrible throughout the 2000s, and when they won the World Series. It's the same deal here with the Town & Country. Some gens are better than others, but the Town & Country is always there, to the point where now, maybe not in name, but the Chrysler Pacifica is the only vehicle keeping the lights on at Chrysler. It is their only product. And this van has been the backbone of several families for the last 20. A lot of these miles are highway miles, but they're also country highway miles. Bugs, deer, dirt roads, grime, dust, all of it. And honestly, when I talk about reliability, I don't ever bring up Chrysler or Dodge. In the last 40 years, they haven't had really good reliability throughout their product lineup. But then you look at this and you say 320,000 miles on original engine and transmission. How is that possible? And so what it feels like, unfortunately I don't have a mechanical answer for you, but what it feels like is that Chrysler can step up to the plate. They are able to build something good and build something reliable when they want to and when the suits will allow. I think that's why modern Chrysler is so sad, because we all know that Chrysler can do it. They can build something great and special, but for some reason they just don't. I drove Chryslers as a kid. I know many people did too. When they want to step up to the plate and hit a home run, they can. And they did in 2006. But now they're batter box shy. Now they won't even come out of the dugout. Now they won't even drive to the stadium. And that's a shame. I know they can do it because this van is proof that they can do it. They just don't want to. And I guess if you have to beg and plead with someone, it's probably not worth it at the end. But here it is, a 320,000-mile Chrysler Town & Country, still operating as it should on original equipment. I can't say that I had that on my bingo card. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to John for letting me borrow his Chrysler Town & Country. He has been absolutely wonderful to work with. I've been filming several of his vehicles here today. This is his highest mileage, but huge thank you to John. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.